Hey folks, this is TJ Macho 7. Welcome back. It is that time where we are going to be able to farm Cataclysm raids to see how much gold we can get from them. Today I'll be starting off with only 800,000 gold, and I'll be using my 724 item level ret. This is my main, this is Dragonsaber. And the raids that we're going to be jumping into today are Blackwing Decent, Bastion of Twilight, Throne of Four Winds, Firelands, and Dragonsoul. We're actually going to be skipping Barrett Hold, since Barrett Hold doesn't really drop much loot, nor does it drop much gold. However, these raids that we are going to be jumping into, each boss drops anywhere between 120 to 130 gold. Along with that, they also drop a whole slew of items that you can vendor, amounting to a significant amount of gold in the end. Along with that, there's a bunch of BOEs that you can be able to get from these bosses and the mobs that are in these raids. Plus, depending on your server, some good amount of crafted items that you can either sell or make items to sell. Now, on top of all that, out of these 5 raids from Cataclysm, there are a total of around 6 mounts that can drop from these bosses. Feel free to check out my previous videos to see which mounts drop from which bosses from these raids. Now, as we're moving along, you already saw previously that we cleared Blackwing Decent. We are now at around 1,486 gold, and we are now continuing to go ahead and clear Bastion of Twilight, of which Blackwing Decent and Bastion of Twilight are not the raids that drop a mount. But these raids are fairly quick and they're fairly fun. Please check out my previous videos on these raids to see which bosses may need some special attention and what kind of items specifically that each can drop if you're looking for transmog items and so forth. Now that we've cleared Bastion of Twilight, we're going to go ahead and vendor these items that we got, which is a lot. We are now sitting at a total of 3,005 gold, which look like we have gained from Bastion of Twilight about 1,519. Not too bad. Now we're jumping into a very special one here today that I have not done a video on, and that is the Trial of the Crusader. Trial of the Crusader is a Wrath of the Lich King raid for level 80, and you want to clear this raid either on 25-man normal or 25-man heroic. Each boss drops about 8 gold apiece, plus a bunch of items that you can vendor or use for transmog or so forth. There are no mounts. Pretty cool weapons though. The thing though is that makes this raid instance a pretty good farm is, not the best farm, but a pretty good farm, is each boss drops an item called the Trophy of the Crusade, which then you can be able to vendor for 50 gold a piece, so you get an easy 250 gold. For this raid that we just did, looks like I made about 490 gold. Right before we started Dragonsoul here, we are now sitting at 3,495. Alright, let's go and clear out Dragonsoul. This is the longest raid in Cataclysm so far because also the role-playing that goes on with it. So Dragonsoul here is one of the 3 raids that do drop a mount. It actually drops about 3 mounts. So feel free to check out the previous video that I did on Dragonsoul to see which mounts they are and which bosses they come from. This raid, it can get redundant. I run these raids on 3 tunes, and almost every time this raid takes about 30 minutes to clear. As you also see with the spinning, feel free to check out my previous video on Dragonsoul to see the strat that I particularly use for the Spine of Deathwing. Not really the best strat, but that's what I use. Madness of Deathwing drops 2 mounts, and as we clear that, we have now made, so far, 5,827 gold. Looks like that raid alone gave us 2,332 gold from that run. Okay, we're gonna go and make our way. I'm doing a full recording of this, and of course sped up, but I'm doing full recording of this in order for you to see in the end how much time it takes to do all of these in one sitting. Now we're jumping into Firelands. This is one of my favorite ones because you can mount up and vendor your items while you're moving around, and it has a lot of really cool bosses that you can fight. There are a couple of bosses here that may need some tactics, so feel free to check out my video that I did previously on this raid particularly. And as we move through this, you can quickly see the path that I take to clear this raid instance. Now, as you're clearing these raids, a lot of this can get redundant, especially if you're doing this on multiple characters. You may want to go ahead and have something playing in the background or watch a movie and so forth. Doing this every week can be a bit boring sometimes. Okay, so now that we've cleared Firelands, we're going to go ahead and head over to the last raid, which is the Throne of the Four Winds. We're going to also vendor these last items that we got. The total that we made is about 7,800 gold so far, and it looks like we made about 1,973 gold from Firelands alone. And now as we clear Throne of the Four Winds, this is a raid where I think you can get a very high amount for very little time. Plus this is one of the raids that drops amount as well. Firelands was one of them too. Looks like we have made 422 gold from this raid instance. And now we are sitting at 8,222 gold. And the time frame it took all of this was 1 hour. Looking at the time frame, yep, 1 hour and 30 minutes. About 1 hour 35 to be exact. Not too bad. 8,000 gold in 1 hour and 35 minutes. I run this on 3 tunes, so you're looking at about 24,000 gold, sometimes in a day, even if I can be able to do it all in one day on a weekend. But yeah, this is something that I do that has helped me get to where I am in making all the gold that I can make. If you just stick to just this alone, you can technically make 100,000 gold in a month if you have 3 tunes that are running it. Now, of course, again, this is not the best way to make gold. This is just one of the ways that I do it. I'll be posting more in the future, more ways how I can make gold. But until then, I hope this helps. I hope you folks make gold caps someday, for those of you that are watching, so you can buy whatever you want from the black market auction house. And I hope you folks have a great day. Take care.